Indiana, we are back. Finally. I've gotten myself figured out at work, and now I can resume recording some Indiana Steel content for you all. So, in the last episode, we completed the off season and we were just about ready to start the regular season. But there was a couple goals that we had set for ourselves last episode that we did not follow through on. So what I want to do before we jump into this new season with this new team, I'm going to go finish those goals. So, our goals in that last episode was to trade Jeremy Swayman, and we also wanted to trade Josh Anderson. 81 overall, 31 years of age, 5.7 million. That does not belong on our team. And then for Swayman, the reason we wanted to get rid of him is because we have Dustin Wolf, who's now an 87 overall, and he's ready to take over for this team. And we have Spencer Knight, who's ready to back him up as well. So I've looked at our options, and there's two trades that we can follow through with. So the first trade that I found was with San Jose Sharks, and the trade that I found with the Sharks was to have obviously Swayman and obviously Anderson. With those two players on the block, which they both want, I'll explain to you a little bit why they would want those players. So, for the goalies, they have Varlamov and Subban and Kakinen and Makiniemi. So those four goalies are not good enough for where they're at right now. Varlamov, 83 overall, he's 37. He's basically done. He has 2 years left on his contract. They can use him as a backup. But if you look at their defensemen, they're not a bad team right now. So they have Klingberg, Provorov, Addison, Dickinson, Ferraro, DeMello, and Vlasic, all above 80 overall. And they don't really have a goalie to help them out. Right wing, they're a little weak on the wing. So they have Athanasiou 81, Maroon 78, Kaut 78, Robin 77, and it just kind of falls off from there. Left wing, they're strong here, but they have Zetterlund and Zadina that can play right wing and fill up that side. And they have Eklund, Pacioretty, Zetterlund, all at 85 and above. So if they can get a left winger and move Zetterlund or Zadina to the right, they can fill up that spot with Anderson. At center, Will Smith, 87, Hurdle, Eller, Bordelot, Kutzer, Wenberg, and Peterson, all above 80 overall. So they are set at center. So, in return, what we would be getting for Swayman and Anderson is we need to get some money back. So, right now, because they are strong at center, they have Lars Eller here, 36, 1 year left, who can be a return piece with a high contract. So, I add Eller. And then as well, they would have more than 50 goalies, 50 skaters, sorry, and they have too many goalies here. So in return, we can pick up Kakinen. He's 80 overall, 1 year left. They'd probably prefer signing Makiniemi instead of him on the re-sign. We could also take Subban, but I think that would be too high of an overall. So I'll go with Kakinen. And I would also want a draft pick. So looking at the draft picks, first overall doesn't make sense, but I can probably use the second. So let's do the second. And here we go. That's what this trade could look like. It kind of works. It kind of makes sense. I kind of like it. But then I saw this other trade, which to me makes a whole lot more sense for us and for the other team as well. So discard, then the other team was the Ottawa Senators. They want Swayman, they want Anderson. What can we get in return? So first things first, I want Ottawa's first round pick for next year. I looked at the prospects. I don't really like the draft this year, and I don't really like what we can get in the first round. So let's take our chance on next year. Also, we would put a 2026 second round from Detroit. And the piece that we would need to add is because they would have too many goalies, we can grab one of their goalies in return, which would probably be Forsberg. We could help them out by removing some salary, but there's still 3 years left with Corpusalo. I don't want to have to deal with that for 3 years. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add Forsberg, and I would have to retain salary. So I'll retain the entirety of Swayman's salary, so the 50% that we're allowed. But then that's still not enough. So here with Anderson, I think it was 24% that I had to put to make this work. Yeah, 21. Let's go 22% here. So 1.275 mil. So this works right here. The value is right there. We get a first and a second, and then we get just a goalie basically to throw into the AHL. We don't really need any pieces back to replace Anderson. I'd rather just have young players grow. So let's try out this trade and see what happens. Okay, so we'll need to sweeten the touch just a touch. So instead of sending something their way, I might just go for a third round pick instead. Or maybe just doing that Pittsburgh Penguins second. So let's try this. And there we go. So called up to the NHL. We have Wolf called up, Stenberg called up. And there we go. Trade complete, goals complete, and we're able to move on. So let's make the roster moves. Centers. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the system. Stenberg, Lucius, let's keep him down there. Left wing, 1, 2, 3. So we need a left winger. Okay, maybe we'll check free agency before I call anybody up. Right wing, we're good here. What's in the system? Perot maybe. And then defenseman, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're good here in the system. We have our defenseman ready. And then goalies, Knight and Forsberg. So this is where we're going to make the move. So Forsberg, you are going down. Spencer Knight being called up as the ace. So let's do this. No waivers for anybody. Confirm. So we need 3 skaters on this team. So let me go check. Let's do best lines for now. Let's go check free agency and see what I can add to this team to just fill out those roster spots as the scratch players. So centers, there's not really anybody. Left wing, Gauthier, Reinhardt. There's a few options. Right wing, so there's Capo Caco, but he's an RFA, and I don't want to part ways with some draft picks right now for this. Defenseman, Romanov, same thing. I think he's an RFA. Yeah, so not interested. All right, so let's look. Centers. Is there anybody that fits this team? Okay, so we have this guy here. Lias Anderson, 26. He fits our forward line 3 and Pennington killing line, so he can be called up if somebody gets hurt. So I'm going to offer him a contract. So just 1 year. Here, let's make sure we sign you. Offer contract. And I need another one. So let's check in the wingers. Same here, Cole Reinhardt. So I'm going to offer him. And then one more. Bottom 6, Nathan Bastian. Oh, Phil Kessel is there. Does he fit? No. Bastian it is. All right, so those are the 3 players to fill up the roster spots. I'm going to advance a few days to make sure they are signed. Okay, I'm not sure what this is all about. I didn't trade away anybody I just added, so no idea. Okay, Bastian, Reinhardt, and Anderson. Great. So let's just go make sure we still have our entire coaching staff. Yeah, that's done. Scouts, here we go. Great. So I'm going to go assign the scouts and we'll be right back. All right, so the game crashed, so I had to go back and do a few things over again, but I managed to set all the scouts out on their assignments, and now we will edit the lines, sim through preseason, and get the season underway. All right, so our big problem with this team is we have no players with X factors, so getting line chemistry is extremely difficult. So we will really need to focus on our drafting. Hopefully Culp this year, now that he's 20, 86 overall, he can start getting some X factors. Niederreiter is going to lose his. He's getting up there in age, so something we need to keep an eye on. But now, let's set these lines. First of all, Harley, you're a defenseman. What are you doing here? So Novak, Doc, Granlund, Greg. Novak, Doc, Granlund, Greg. When it comes to right wingers, it's Quinn, Kaliev, Duclair. Quinn, Kaliev, Duclair. Quinn, Kaliev, Duclair. Left wingers, Culp, Johnson. Culp, Rasmussen, Johnson. Culp, Rasmussen, Johnson. Niederreiter should be okay. So Duclair, okay. All right, so this is what we're going to be looking at for our offensive lines. Culp, Novak, Quinn, Rasmussen, Doc, Kaliev, Johnson, Granlund, Niederreiter, and then Reinhardt, Greg, and Duclair. On defense, we have Miller, Moser, Gerard, Marino. Let's see what we can do with this. So Gerard probably on the first line. All right, so let's go with this. We'll have Gerard, Moser, Miller, Marino, Joseph, Barron. Basically, all our defensemen are the same except for Gerard. So let's keep an eye on this and see how this works out. And then For our goalies, we have Wolf and Knight, so that works. Now let's just go take a quick peek at the AHL lines. All right, so this is what we're going to do with our AHL lines. Stenberg, Lucius, Hemming, Forsell, Kapanen, Perreault, Seidenberg, Moore, and Perreault. Actually, let's go Seidenberg, Kapanen, Perreault, Forsell, Moore, Perreault, Ibragimov, Blett, and Amenaho. Defense, we'll have some Rukov, Kesselring, Kral, Wielander, Novikov, and Baudin. And then for our goalies, we have the newly acquired Anton Forsberg with Oscar Olofsson backing him up. All right, with all that done, we'll be able to move on. So I'll sim through preseason. I want to get right into regular season. So for preseason, how did it go? So 1, 2, 3, 3 wins and then 2 overtime losses and 2 losses. So 3, 2, and 2, not too bad. I'm not expecting much out of this team this year, so let's see how this goes. All right, first game of the season. All right, first game of the season is a 3-2 overtime loss. Now, next up, Columbus. Another overtime loss. Another loss. And our first win of the season, 4-0 against Nashville. Simming through Florida. All right, next up we have Winnipeg and Carolina. Let's sim through both of these. And 2 overtime wins back to back. Up against Buffalo. A 3-0 loss. Arizona. 5-2 loss. And then we have another back to back in Toronto and then at home against Pittsburgh. We beat Toronto, lose to Pittsburgh. So we're 4-4-3. We got another back-to-back against Dallas and Vegas. Okay, so Jack Quinn has been injured with a sprained ankle. So we're just going to have the head coach replace the player. 2-4-2 losses. So we're not looking good right now. 4-6-3. I didn't expect much out of this team. We just need players that have X factors. We need to get legitimate studs on this team, and we need to do it sooner rather than later, or this is going to be a disaster. All right, another back-to-back. Win against the Kings and a win against the Oilers. We have New Jersey up next. 4-2 win. Washington here. 4-2 loss. Chicago 4-1 loss. And then a back-to-back at home against Montreal and Tampa Bay. Okay, so Quinn is ready, so let's go put him back into our lineup. Here we go. So back-to-back losses. Let's go put Kesselring back in. All right, shootout loss against New York, a loss against Philly, and this season is getting out of hand. 7-11-4. All right, win against San Jose and a win against the Ducks. We have no RFAs, so we can skip this. So we're 9-11-4. We're in 6th place right now. Shootout win against Colorado. And Duclair is injured with a fractured jaw. So he's going to be out until December 17th. So Bastian is probably going to be taking his place. But we do get a win against the Rangers. And another back-to-back, Detroit, Seattle. Okay, so before we do that back-to-back, let's go check the Central Scouting. It looks like we're going to be having a high pick this draft with our first round pick. So let's go take a look what we can get. Okay, so there's some elite players here. Silvegaard is projected first overall. We have Rutu, a sniper at third. Kern, playmaker. We have this Gavin McKenna here. We haven't uncovered him yet. Jenks, Odi Marchessault. Okay, so there's a few players we can get here. So if we end up needing a high pick, we have some options. And again, back-to-back losses against Detroit and Seattle. Up next, we have Boston and Minnesota. Okay, so a 4-3 loss against Boston. 2-1 shootout win against Minnesota. Let's see how our players are doing. Maybe we need to mix things up here. All right, so Gerard is leading the team in points. So 3 goals, 21 assists. We have Jackson Culp, 12 goals, 8 assists, 20 points. Doc. And it looks like we cannot keep the puck out of the net. This first line with Novak is not doing good. Gerard not doing good. All right, let's see if I can go move things around a little bit. So first up, Gerard, you're not helping out. Miller, you can go up. Marino and Moser. So here we go. Offense. Culp, Novak, Quinn. He's a 0, -10, -2, 0, -6, 3. Yeah, this team is not great right now. Dustin Wolf is playing well, though. 918 save percentage, 259 goals against. He has 2 shutouts. Spencer Knight, on the other hand, 886 and a 401 goals against in 10 games. That is brutal. Okay, so I'm just going to change that first defensive pairing and see if that does anything. In the meantime, our AHL squad, we are 21-8. And here we go. This is crazy. Otto Stenberg, 34 points, 9 goals, 25 assists. Chaz Lucius, 30 points, 18 goals. They're both plus 17. How does that compare to the rest of the league? All right, so Stenberg is 1 point behind the lead in the AHL, which is great. And then for goals, Chaz Lucius is 2 goals ahead of Tyler Mott. So our AHL team is doing really good. At 21-8, it puts them in second in the North behind the Monsters. But back to Indiana. We're going to keep simming, and hopefully we can turn this thing around a little bit. If not, let's hope we finish last and get a really good shot at the lottery. All right, so Duclair is back. So I want line 2 to be our starting line. I think our top line being matched up against their top line all the time isn't working. So let's try this. Okay, so we get an overtime win against Columbus. 2-0 loss against St. Louis. Then we have a game against Nashville before the Christmas break, and it's another loss. Back from Christmas against Florida, a 3-0 win. Now we have the Ottawa Senators and Jeremy Swayman here. And we have a 1-0 loss. That's tough. Another back-to-back. And 2 wins against Winnipeg and Carolina. Wasn't that the exact same back-to-back we had earlier in the year, Winnipeg, Carolina? Yeah, exactly. Winnipeg, Carolina, we had them at home. And then we had them away. Not bad. All right, up against Buffalo. Another loss. 7-1 win against Arizona. Where are they? Oh, there they are. I didn't know I could scroll down. So they are terrible. So good thing we beat them. All right, another back-to-back. Toronto, Pittsburgh. So back-to-back losses again. Man, I feel like we have so many back-to-backs. It's not helping this team. Okay, so it's either back-to-back losses or back-to-back wins, but We're fighting. So we're five points back of the Blackhawks for a spot, or 3 points back of the Oilers for the second wild card. So Kings and Edmonton up next. So a 5-1 win against the Kings and a 5-4 shootout loss against Edmonton. Up against New Jersey here. All right, let's go see if we uncovered McKenna. All right, so McKenna, an elite two-way forward, left wing center. Could be some good possibilities here. So McKenna is a guaranteed 4. I'm assuming Kern is a guaranteed 3 and Ruutu is a guaranteed 2 once that is all uncovered. So balance, energy block. Dump cycle, balance block. No, I don't want that. Balance, energy block. Carry cycle, efficient balance. This would be good. Markkanen, balance, behind the net. But he is a top 6 instead of elite, so we'll see. Okay, 3-0 win against New Jersey. Let's go up against Calgary here. 4-1 win. Washington. 3-0 loss. Chicago. 1-0 win against Chicago. Now we're up against Montreal and Tampa with another back-to-back. So back-to-back losses again. The Islanders. 5-2 win. Philly up next. 4-0 loss. San Jose. 4-1 loss. Anaheim. 3-1 loss. 7-2 loss. So we have 4 straight losses here. Okay, so Culp has been injured and he's out until March 8th. That is rough. So he's basically out a month. Okay, so overtime loss against the Rangers. We have a back-to-back against Detroit and Seattle. So back-to-back wins. Up against Boston. 3-2 overtime win. Minnesota. 3-2 overtime loss. Philip Kral's been injured. And we finish with 2 back-to-back wins. All right, so we've reached the trade deadline. So I don't want to keep going here. I want to give you guys a chance to watch this video, get back up to speed about where we're at and what we're doing. So right now we are in 5th place in the Central at 66 points, 1 point behind the Jets, and basically 1 point behind the Ducks. So we have a chance at the playoffs. I wouldn't say we're guaranteed. So I don't know if I want to be a buyer or a seller. I think we just want to stay pat for now. Hopefully our players have grown a little bit. So let's take a look at that before I end this video. Okay, I'm going to have to split Girard and Moser. This is disgusting. The fact that Girard has 43 points and he's still a minus 23, that's rough. So, as we can see, Girard is a team leader in points, 36 assists, who gives him 43 points. Novak, 15, 23, 38. Culp, 22, 15, 37. So, 22 goals. I don't think that's high up against the rest of the league. Let's take a look. Yeah, not even close. Austin Matthews, 44 goals, 45 assists, 89 points. That gives them the lead in points for the season so far. Kucherov, Nylander, McKinnon, Kaprizov. Yeah, so good all around. What about defensemen? Where are we? Okay, Carlson having a monster year. 72 points in 63 games. That is insane. Right, in terms of goalies, Drew Camesso. So that's a new goalie that's entered the league here. 30 wins, 21 losses in 54 games. And where is Swayman? Yikes. 47 games, 22 wins, 21 losses, 912 save percentage. Not doing good in Ottawa. But Dustin Wolf is having an incredible season despite how bad we've been playing. He has a 923 save percentage, which puts him third in the league. And he has a 239 goals against, which puts him fifth. That's great. He does have 3 assists. Is that the most in the league? Yeah, he's tied for first in assists as a goalie. Let's go. All right, so that's looking good here. And now if we check the AHL, okay, so here's Forsberg for us. 33 wins, 17 losses, 3 shutouts, 915 save percentage, 221 goals against. So he's doing really good so far. All skaters. Otto Stenberg, second in the league in points. 19 goals, 46 assists, 65 points. So Lucius fell off a little bit. He's 3 goals behind the lead. He has 24 so far this year, 52 points. So he's doing really, really well. And then for the standings, so we're second in the North. Cleveland fell off. Laval went up. So not too bad here. If we look at the entire league, wow. So we are 8th in the entire AHL. If we look in the NHL, the Central were 5th. Entire league, we are 20th. So goals for per game. Yeah, we need to score. We are the 4th worst team when it comes to goals for per game. Goals against per game. We're 13th, so not too bad. Yeah, our power play is not great. Our penalty kill, though, is the best in the league and by far. 90.5% on the penalty kill. That is crazy. All right, let's go check the lineup, see if anybody improved. So progress reports. All right, so Gerard went up Didn't go up. Novak didn't go up. Wolf didn't go up. Culp did go up. I think he was 86 to start the year. He's 87 now. Doc Miller, Rasmussen. Who's the biggest climbers? Tyler Johnson is regressing, and he's regressing fast. That is not good in the system. So Emil Hemming went up 1. I think Seidenberg went up 1 too. Okay, Henley. So for those who don't understand what the modifiers are, the colors. So from what I understand, so here in orange, Lucius. So basically, green is natural growth. And then, so natural growth, he had 5 categories go up. And then the green here is also natural growth. Okay, so never mind. I think I was wrong. I thought green was natural growth and orange was statistical growth, but that is not the case. So natural growth is just its natural progression, and statistical growth is if they are having a great season, then those stats would go up. So for example, if we look here at Novak, so he has a lot of statistical growth. So it looks like his natural growth has stopped, but he's still going up because he's having good seasons. So if there's a player that we really like that's really playing well, there's a chance that they can go up in overall by quite a bit. So let's see, did we get any extra X factors? We did not. So Novak was the one that had it, and Niederreiter as well. Let's just take a quick look with... where's Culp? Oh, Culp did get some X factors. He did not have those. So he's got no contest, so great puck battling and elite edges, great agility and direction changes. So that's a good thing for Jackson Culp. That's going to help him progress and grow. Okay, now let's check the defense. So nobody got any. Miller was the only one with X factors. Goalies. Nope, nothing yet. And then... last but not least, I just want to show you a little bit what our team looks like right now. So at center, we have a couple prospects maybe growing, but it doesn't look like anything's coming out of them. 2 low elites. Other than that, nothing great. Left wing, we have Jackson Culp, obviously, who's progressing quite well. Right wing, we don't have any elite players. Defensemen, we have no elite players. Goalies, we have Dustin Wolf. So yeah, our team is lacking prospects. It's lacking a lot of things. So yeah, there's a lot of work to be done for this team. So with that being said, I'm going to end it off here. Let me know if there's anything you think we should be doing for the trade deadline. Should we try to improve? Should we sell? Should we get picks? What are we looking to do? So again, thanks for watching. Sorry it's been so long since the last episode. I'm going to try to get more of these episodes out. Now that I'm stable at my new job, I'll have more time to do this. So let us know what we're doing for the trade deadline. If you think we should just stay put, stay the same, hope we make the playoffs, great. If not, let's hope we win the lottery. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think we should do. And once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.